So now we're on to probably my second favourite part of the event, besides cake and tea at the end, which is the personal reflection. No, it's all good, but we have the master theme of the event, which today is grit, and after hearing from our main speaker, we like to get someone from within our community to step up and talk about something that happened to them. It's often a personal story of something that happened in their life. So to talk about grit today with personal reflection, I'd like to invite my friend Erica Hediger to come onto the stage. Come on, give her a round of applause.
Thanks for having me, guys. Stu's been harassing me for a while to come along to this, so I thought I may as well come along and do a talk while I'm at it. So, I'm not going to make anything too long or boring for you. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what I used to be like as opposed to what I'm like now. I used to be in marketing and sales, and I thought that's where I was going to die, and I loved it. I thought it was fine. I had a great partner. I lived at the Sunshine Coast, so I was at the beach every other day. I had a relatively good income. I'm actually secretly a massive tomboy, so this is really uncommon for me. So working in a women's lifestyle magazine was pretty tricky for me. I didn't really get the whole beauty, clothes, fashion, whatever. I just wanted to sell ads and go to the beach. And unfortunately, I started getting a bit of a rash one day, which sounds a bit weird, but it was unfortunately in my elbows, my eyelids, and all over my neck. And I just thought, it's a bit of dermatitis, it doesn't matter, it'll go away. Unfortunately, it did not. I ended up covered, so 90% of my body was covered in what they call atopic chronic dermatitis. And then I got a whole bunch of tests done, and they were like, just take a bunch of steroid creams and you'll be fine. So that's what I did, and I slathered creams and potions and Vaseline and all sorts of weird stuff all over my body for weeks and weeks and weeks trying to get it to go away, and it got worse. It ended up covering my whole face, and my eyelids would crack and bleed, so it looks like I was crying blood tears. It was actually pretty cool. I've got photos. But it wasn't really fantastic for working in sales and marketing, so my job disappeared. They meant well, but it's really hard to be a salesperson when you look like a bit of a leper and your face is kind of falling off or you're bleeding on the clients. So I understood where they were coming from, but it was a bit of a blow. Unfortunately, at the time, my partner had also told me that he wanted to leave Queensland. He got a job in Canberra here. And I thought, you know what, it doesn't matter. I've just lost my job. Well, not lost. Asked politely to move on. And I thought I may as well go down to Canberra and see if I can do something down there. Now, my partner at the time, absolute mega genius. He is a PhD student in mechatronics engineering, and he's also a guy that does combat robots, and that's how we met. I was actually quite bored one weekend and was looking for something to do, and saw his combat robotics competition, so I thought I'd go along and check it out. Bit of a weird hobby person over here. And so we started building robots, and I didn't really know what was happening, and I sort of was vaguely interested but didn't really do anything. And then we moved down to Canberra, and the dermatitis came back even worse, because turns out Canberra is not the place for people with allergies. So if anyone's got hay fever, you'll know exactly what I mean. So even though I was covering myself in steroid creams constantly, at least 3 times a day, just over and over, I was going through about $60 worth of cream every day, it still kept getting worse, to the point where I went to a specialist in Sydney, and she said, no, this is not okay, you've got some sort of immune deficiency. So it turns out I actually have a genetic immune disorder, which means I have no immune system, and what's left of it is attacking my own skin constantly. So that's where the dermatitis came from. So they put me on chemotherapy, bit of a weird one, and sent me home to hermetically seal my bedroom for 3 months. So I spent 3 months in a bedroom in Canberra, no family, so it was a really, really hard time. And it took a while for me to realise that I wasn't mentally healthy anymore, because I'm in a bedroom with nothing to do. So I went to the doctor and they went, we'll give you all these antidepressants, we'll sort you out, it'll be fine. And I just went, nope, don't really want to deal with that. It's circumstantial, it's not clinical. So there's a very big difference there in depression, and I knew because my partner now had depression. As a result of me nagging and all that sort of stuff, it sort of triggered him as well. He's got a horrible job that he doesn't want, but he can't quit because he's now supporting me financially because I'm too sick, and going through now about $120 a day worth of medications. So it's not a great time, but what I did find out of it, in my boredom, I got sick of watching Netflix and I started watching YouTube. And I had an engineer's workshop in the room next to me with a whole bunch of soldering irons and weird electronics and LEDs and flashy things. And I actually taught myself how to do a fair amount of electrical engineering, which was pretty cool. I made my own remote control for my TV when it broke. I had a sonic screwdriver, if anyone watches Doctor Who. Had one as a toy. Pulled that apart, pulled all the electronics out and worked out how to make a universal remote and cram it all back into the sonic screwdriver. So there's deliveries almost every day from China, from the warehouses over there, getting weird components and stuff. And then I started getting into the combat robots. I actually got so good at combat robots that I'm now the Australian team captain for BattleBots, which is a TV show over in America. So I actually went over there to compete last year. So I had this 3 months of bubble boy syndrome, which was pretty great, and finally the chemo kicked in, my immune system settled, my dermatitis, hopefully. I don't think I look too leprous now, which is great, has settled down, and I'm not using so much medication anymore for my skin, which is great. And as soon as I got out, I should have been doing engineering as a kid, and I should have been doing this at high school, and I should have been doing this at uni. I should never have been in sales, because God knows I don't like talking to people 90% of the time. And I decided to start doing workshops for young girls to get them into engineering and science, technology, all that sort of fun stuff. And I started my own business doing robotics, prototyping, manufacturing and design. And that was all on the back of 3 months of ultimate boredom and a workshop full of random electronics. So I found my passion in life. I absolutely know what I want to do, and I have an amazing job. I have really wonderful friends. I get to meet people like Stu, who I get to work with almost every day when I make it to the office, usually before 12. So I have a great career, a passion, and I've got a new partner now, and I've got my best friend / life partner in the back, Kim, as well. So I've got a great support network now. I didn't have it when I went through that, and I realised the value of that and the value of finding something that you're passionate about. And if it hadn't have happened, I'd still be living at the Sunshine Coast on a reasonable salary. I'd probably have a house and a kid and a dog and all that other boring stuff, and I never would have gone to America and blown up giant 150-kilo robots. I never would have made flamethrowers in the backyard with Questacon filming and all sorts of really fun stuff that I get to do now. So I guess it's not a bad thing to have curveballs, and it's not a bad thing to have horrible stuff happen to you. Just look for what the benefit of it is, and know that if you stick with it, you'll eventually get through. So I guess that's where the grit's coming in. But that's my personal reflection.